Hi guys, I'm Coach Adrien, and I want to thank you for viewing my video. As I have always said, that my videos are so designed to help the viewers make happy choices that would make them happy. I have a breaking news that I want to share with you, although it is sad news. Our children all over the world are hurting, and we cannot continue to ignore their painful cries for help. In fact, we are obligated to make them happy. We brought them into this world. This is why I think we need to talk a little about the long vexing issues of the plight of our children who are neglected. Our specific issue is the sad cry of a homeless little girl, and I quote, "I want my daddy. I want my daddy." What are the underlying messages in this heart-rending cry? I have come up with 4 messages. 1, children are suffering for no fault of theirs. Secondly, the people who call them forth are neglecting them, and the world seems to be doing nothing about this crime. Thirdly, it suggests to me that millions of innocent children in every country are rejected by their fathers and left to suffer irreparable damages for life. Additionally, it suggests to me that as the divorce rate increases globally, children are the real victims of the bad choices that many adult males make. Here is an eye-catching headline from the US Census Bureau, and I quote, "Divorce, no father presence. This is the crisis of the 21st century America." The conventional wisdom is that no father presence, the greater likelihood to be a drug addict, the greater likelihood to be a teenage mother, the greater likelihood to be a school dropout, the greater likelihood to be a prison inmate, the greater likelihood to be an alcoholic or to be an abusive male adult. The Pew Research Center has been flagging this signpost for a long time. In fact, as early as 2017, the Pew Research Center noted that among US 25 to 42-year-olds, 20% have no father figure in their lives. In 2019, the Pew Research reported that some 130 countries, of that 130 countries, the US had the world's highest rate of children living in single-parent household. Almost a quarter of US children under the age of 18 live with one parent and no other adults. And that was more than 3 times the share of children around the world. And lastly, the Pew Research said, more alarmingly, US children from Christian and non-Christian families were equally likely to live in this type of arrangement. Things are getting bad. A major explanatory factor is the dreaded reality: divorce. Among US adults aged 50 and older, the divorce rate has doubled since the 1990s. The divorce rate for those younger than 50 is about twice as high as it is for adults 50 and older. And since 1990, the divorce rate has almost climbed slightly for adults aged 40 to 49. This is a serious issue that we are dealing with. And God is taking an action about that. God responds to it. Why? Because God, who is responsible for creating man, had a purpose for giving man the responsibility of making children. God said, and I'm quoting Malachi chapter 2, verse 16, I hate divorce. Do not be unfaithful to your wife. End of quote. Malachi chapter 2, verse 16. Why, one may ask, is this issue so serious? Because divorce and separation deviate for the reason for being. In fact, the Genesis account puts it like that. The Lord God said, and I'm quoting, it is not good for the man to be alone. I will make him a helper who is just right for him. Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. Man was created and given the privilege of perpetuating happiness through procreation. He is to produce children made from the union of man and woman. God gave man and woman the responsibility of making children or continuing his creation. Rebellion and deviation have a painful human cost, as always. And the children are the greatest victims. Daddy's little girl suffers, whether a man is an absentee father, a walkaway father, or an abusive father. His absence leaves an enduring mark on a daughter's psyche as she grows into adulthood. Why is that so? Because fathers provide their daughters with a masculine model. They teach their children self-respect, confidence, and the daughters boundaries that help put their daughters at ease with other men throughout their lives. Boys are also affected and affected severely. The psychological effect of feeling abandoned for boys can have a powerful negative impact on them. They could grow up to feel that they are unlovable, hated by society, or they could harbor anger that can be transformed into aggression, or usually transform into aggression, violence, and crime. You know, some people have asked me, how can a person take such a non-conventional view on marriage and divorce when even Christians adopt a liberal position? In this case, our overwhelming concern should be who established the family. God established the family, God the creator, and he created and set the standard, not man, not the church, not association, not education, not universities. When asked the trick question in Matthew 19, is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for any and every reason? Check the book of Matthew and read the detail in Matthew 19. Jesus replied, Moses permitted you to divorce your wife because your hearts were hard, but it was not this way from the beginning. It was not God's intention that marriage should be broken or partnership separated. They were to perpetuate. and stay in happy union. That is God's design. Now, Mark tells us that even the disciples, they thought the response from Jesus Christ was really a harsh teaching. Check the book of Mark, Mark chapter 10, read the detail. Mark reported, and I'm quoting Mark chapter 10, verses 10 to 12. When they were in the house, the disciples asked Jesus about this because they were concerned. Verse 11, he answered, anyone who divorces his wife and marries another woman commits adultery against her. And if she divorces her husband and marries another man, she commits adultery. Mark chapter 10, verses 10 to 11. So Jesus made abundantly clear, neither the man nor the woman. The man cannot divorce the woman cannot divorce the man. There is no license, there is no leeway to divorce. But it is for each partner to commit themselves to make this a happy relationship for man, for the woman, and for the children. In fact, David says, and I'm quoting Psalm 127, verse 3, children are a heritage from the Lord. Hence, we are to love them, care for them, protect them, and grow them happily. So, guys, we are not to make them victims of the permissive society that we have created. Daddy, your little girl is asking for you. And we always end our clinics by reminding ourselves of the two choices that help us make wise decisions. The first one is from William Penn. Wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it. Right is right, even if no one is doing it. And the other one is like unto it. Truth is truth, even if no one believes it. And a lie is a lie, even if everyone believes it. And we always finally end with a word to the wise. Our word to the wise comes from Paul, the apostle, who counseled fathers. And I'm quoting Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 25. This is what Paul says. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself for her. Let us connect. Connect with me, Coach Adrien, via WhatsApp, 1-869-668-9752, or via email, peter@coachadrien.com. Please, I want you to look for a new video posted on my YouTube channel, on Twitter, on Facebook, and LinkedIn on the first day of each month. Posted on the first day of each month. Thank you for viewing. Please subscribe, as I always ask, to my video and like it. Our children are our next generation. Let us love them.